Well, joining us live from Stockholm is Mikael Valtersson. He's a military analyst and a former officer with the Swedish Army. Thanks very much indeed for being with us. Just first of all, if you wouldn't mind giving us your assessment of what's been happening over recent days in the conflict, because there's been plenty going on.
It's hard to really say what's happening. Ukraine claims that they have up to 1,000 square kilometers under their control, but that's probably not the truth, because there are two different areas. First, we have an area where they are really in control, and that's much smaller area. And then we have forward units that are moving all across the territory they claim. And they are Ukrainian units everywhere, but there are also Russian units there. So the front line hasn't been stabilized yet on some areas, especially maybe in the west and in the north. It's more stable, but it will take maybe 1 week more before the total area is stabilized. And during that time, it will be much fog of war still. But Ukraine control only maybe half the area they claim really control.
So in that case, is there much more for Ukraine to do to really feel like they are making some significant progress, some significant advancements?
Well, it could still look like they are making progress, since their units will be appearing in many different places during the coming weeks. And in some areas, at least on both flanks, they are making real progress. But in the central part and in the north, I believe that the front line will be stabilized much closer to the border than the most forward position. The most forward positions are maybe 25 kilometers from the border, and the real front line will be stabilized maybe 10 kilometers from the border.
Now, are you expecting a Russian response to all of this?
Well, they talk a lot about it, and I don't know if they will put enough forces into the Kursk region to kick out the Ukrainian forces, because it will they will need lots of forces to be successful, and Russia might accept that the Ukrainian forces are in Russia, but it being much more easy targets. And these are the last Ukrainian reserves that are in the Kursk region, and Russia might, not in the political way, they are not satisfied, but in a military way, they are satisfied that they are occupied by being in the Kursk area, and at the same time, they can't reinforce, for example, the southern Donetsk area, where Russian forces are getting closer and closer to the logistical hub of Pokrovsk, and it might be not any major changes up in the Kursk regions when the front are stabilized. I don't know really what kind of increase Russia can do towards Ukraine. Of course, they could do a border incursion from Belarus, but then Belarus will probably this time be involved in the war, and I don't think that Lukashenko want it. So that's my general assessment.
We appreciate your assessment, Mikael Valtersson. Thanks very much indeed for joining us live on the News Hour on TRT World.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.